In a world racing toward the unknown, one night will change everything. Feel the ground tremble beneath the weight of destiny. Hear the echoes of a future unveiled.
Everyone appointed death and appointed to die. You will disappoint the enemy, you will disappoint death in the name of Jesus.
On December 31st, as the final seconds of 2025 fade, a new era begins. At the voice of the Ra, the world will pause, and 2026 will be announced. Be there. Witness history. Feel the pulse of a new beginning.
I begin to see the winds blowing.
December 31st, join us for the Exodus night with the Ra, Hubert Angel, an unforgettable night of revelation, celebration, and destiny.
The year of the...
This is no ordinary night. This is the night. Will you answer the call? At the iconic Harare Hippodrome, Harare, Zimbabwe. Don't wait. The clock is ticking.
Sing hallelujah to the King who reigns forever. That's why we sing hallelujah to the King who reigns forever. On your name we are calling, as we cry you are holy. Jesus Christ is the reason for every season, joy overflowing. On your name we are calling, as we cry you are holy. Jesus Christ is the reason for every season, joy overflowing. It's a Christmas day. Our King was born today.
Good news to you, and welcome to this very, very important edition of Exodus Season Special. It is very important that you take this time and share this live broadcast and let somebody know that there is special information that we're about to deliver, that we're about to give to you, especially in these particular time. It is very important. Please take this time to like, share, and let somebody know that Exodus Season Special is right here. It is very, very important. Share it, whether it's on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever way you can share it, please make sure you share it, because today we've got very, very important information. And my name is Cardinal Jordan Banks, and I'm here to celebrate what God has done throughout this whole year. It is very important for us to actually realize what God has been doing through our men of God. And I want to take this opportunity to thank our men of God, the highly esteemed prophet to Christianity, the Ra himself, the leader of this last prophetic dispensation. My father, our father, the founder and the leader of the Good News World and the Good News Nation. Thank you so very much, sir, for everything you have done in this year and throughout the whole year. And looking at it in this year of the chain breaker, the impact that the Good News World has made around the world. Thank you so very much for what you've continually been doing for us and for what you've done for me personally. I love you so very much, sir. And I want to thank as well our president, the Nevia, the Good News World president, and for everything which she is doing for us in the Good News World. Thank you so very much, Mom. We love you so very much, and continue pushing us and pushing the Good News World to the high levels where it should be. We love you so very much. And of course, I'm actually on set right here today with my colleague, esteemed Cardinal. Please, let's talk to everybody today.
Thank you so much, Cardinal Banks. My name is Cardinal Moses, and it's always really a golden opportunity to be on set with you.
Yes.
But I want to, before proceeding, thank my man of God, the founder and visionary of the Spirit Embassy, the Good News World, the Good News Nation, no other than the highly esteemed Prophet Hubert Hingered, indeed the Ra, God-born servant, who have dedicated his life since childhood and been consistent to say, well, I am for God, and continue to chattel the course of events when it comes to what God is saying in this last dispensation. So I so much love you, and I thank you for giving us this opportunity to be able to share, even as we take stock of what have been happening throughout the year of the chain breaker. 2025, it has been a fantastic year, and you have been spearheading a lot of things. So we want to really say, as we enter the Exodus season, it's a season of a lot of reflection. So I'm so much privileged to be on set with you. At the same time, I want to really thank my woman of God, the prophetess, Madam Bibi Ninja, the president of the Good News World. Thank you for steering actually each and every one of us to go higher and to attain our potential and make sure that we grow in the things of the Spirit. So thank you so much for such a commitment and dedication to see that the children of God continue to march forward. So thank you so much, Madam Prophetess. So much, dearly love you. And we at the Good News World, the Good News Nation, we are so privileged to have, our spiritual parents that are geared towards guiding us to attain extra heights when it comes to the things of God. So Exodus season is a season really we all look forward to.
That's right. And it's here.
Yeah.
It's here. It's very important that wherever you are, do everything you need to do. Be in Harare with the Ra, the prophet, the leader of this last prophetic dispensation. And so many times people tend to think that, why do I have to be in Harare? And we read throughout the scripture that it is important to actually be in the location that God specifies.
Yeah.
For example, when Jesus was about to leave here on earth, he said, go tell my brothers that I'll be meeting them in Galilee.
Yeah.
So they've got to be in Galilee. Why? Because that's the location he has chosen to be.
That's right.
And in this case, our man of God has chosen Harare.
That's it.
At the iconic Hippodrome.
Yeah.
And that's where it's going to be taking place, where we are all exodusing, if you were to use that word. Exodusing. We're moving to the next year through the prophet. And we know that the scripture says, by a prophet, Israel was delivered.
Yes.
And by a prophet, Israel was preserved.
Yeah.
And we know that as we have our men of God, as God has given us the custodian of this prophetic, the biggest stakeholder in the prophetic, our men of God, Prophet Angel. So if he say that, be in Harare, it simply means you need to be in Harare.
Exactly.
Yeah, location does matter.
Yeah.
And you might say, I'm going to watch online, but location does matter.
Yeah.
So whatever you need to do right now to put everything in place and make sure that you come to Harare, be in the location where the voice, where you can hear the men of God speak, where you can see the men of God speak. Don't say I'm going to watch online. Don't say I'm going to watch, through Miracle TV or, through Halo Box. It is important that you tell yourself, I have to be there. Whatever it takes, I have to be there in the presence of the prophet. Yeah. Location matters.
Seriously, it matters. Even if you look at throughout the Bible, wherever God is about to do something, he designated a location for the people. Even at the time of meeting, he will say, meet me at this time.
Yes.
When the prophet Elijah was about to be taken by whirlwind to heaven, equally, he was going from place to place, from Gilgal to this other place, to that other place, and finally crossed the Jordan. But there was a location that I believe that was a prophetic location that was designated where his departure will take place.
Yes.
It's like when you are traveling, even at the airport, there's a particular location you have to be in order to get on that flight. So when our men of God, the highest esteemed Prophet Ubed designates Harare at the iconic Hippodrome to say, meet me there, because we want to usher in a new year. And this season is a season where we will begin to experience even angelic activities, because that season when he designated, beginning from the 9th, where it is a season, of prayer and fasting.
That's
Rosh Hashanah. It's important because he designated every particular day, to a specific thing. Now, when he said, meet me at the iconic Hippodrome, and I'm going to usher you in to the year of 2026, the year of, of course, then we know we are excited because it's something specific. When the prophet speaks, because the year doesn't know it's a year, but when the prophet declares it, and you are there at that location, in that environment, there's grace available to be dispensed. And so it's important, whoever you are watching, wherever you are watching from, make sure that you are already making your way there. If you are not already booked your ticket, if you are not already prepared for your journey or traveling, arrangements, make sure as you are listening to us, get ready and be where the prophet of God will be. Because it's going to be exceptional. We have seen year in, year out. When the prophet is declaring and giving some, prophetic ordinances into the new year, it brings a level of high expectation. And he said, I have marched into these months. So when I'm declaring something, I'm telling you what is already in store for you. What an occasion to be where the prophet of God is actually there declaring things for your next year. So make sure that you are not missing this one.
It's very, very important. So organize. If you are in the outside Zimbabwe, for those who are maybe in the Western world, you might be in Canada or maybe America or maybe South America, you might be in Europe. You might be in the Middle East, because, we are everywhere.
Exactly.
You might be in Russia right now, and we've got some members in Ukraine. You might be in Ukraine. Maybe you are in Romania. You could be in Cambodia. We've got a branch in Cambodia. You could be in Australia or in Fiji, or maybe in Dubai, or in Doha,
Myanmar.
or maybe in Egypt, in Myanmar. We're all in China.
Everywhere.
in Singapore, we're in South Korea. We are in all those countries. So if you are in these countries, not even try. You have to actually start doing your preparations. And tell you do not want, listen to this. I usually say, you do not want to be coming outside the country. And then you end up in a tent. So book yourself now in time and make sure that you are not in the overflow. Organize, strategize, tell yourself, I've got to be in Harare. And I've actually booked my airline, my air ticket, I've booked my hotel where I'm going to be staying, whether it's an Airbnb, but you're making sure that it's somewhere where you can easily get back into the service very fast, so that you don't wind up in the overflow or in the tent outside. Because as we speak right now, there are tents which we've already ordered. And these tents are going to be stationed outside. Remember last year how it was like, how we had over 7 overflows. So you do not want to come to Zimbabwe and be in an overflow. I'm talking to those who are actually outside Africa.
Yes.
Plan now and make sure that you are there.
You are right. You are right, esteemed Cardinal, because it's important. You are listed almost every continent or country, in the world. And we shouldn't forget in Africa as well, from the West Coast, in Nigeria.
That's right.
Okay, even to the East Coast, when you're talking about Kenya, Uganda, Spirit Embassy there, Tanzania, Namibia, Botswana, South Africa. Imagine even being closer to Zimbabwe.
That's right.
And you are traveling equally. You are outside of the country, though close to the country, and you are traveling as well. So it is about time that you make it also the earliest, because the sooner the better for you. It will be better that all people and all nations that are traveled from across the world, they are inside the iconic hippodrome itself and not on the periphery, not in the overflow. And let the overflow be for those who are always enjoying being
the men of God.
So it's a very important thing that you have stated, and I believe people listening to us, make sure that you are making that arrangement, that you are going on an advanced mission. Make sure that you are not going there late, because if you get there late, of course, space will be there for you, but it will be outside in the overflow. And how much more you are traveling and journeying thousands of miles just to get there, and want to be in that particular location at the iconic hippodrome itself.
That's right.
But yet, because of your late arrival, your space is found outside. So make sure that you are encouraging, even because people are even traveling like groups. I believe you know
passes,
that.
We've got passes.
Yes.
Places like South Africa, Mozambique, Namibia, Zambia, Tanzania. People are using passes to get there.
Exactly.
So if you are in those areas and you're part of Spirit Embassy, you need to be talking to your senior ministers and the chaplains as well to make sure that you are actually covered. Do whatever you need to do to be in Zimbabwe. That part is very important.
Exactly.
Earlier on, Cardinal, you were actually talking about the year doesn't know it's a year.
Exactly.
And that is something we've learned from our men of God.
Exactly.
I remember years back. Years back, we used to have night prayers here in the UK. And the men of God will actually call up to 1 o'clock. He hasn't declared the year.
Not yet.
And he says, why should I be declaring the year? And for those who are thinking that 12 o'clock is hit, now they've entered the new year. You haven't entered the new year.
Not yet.
The year only, you can only enter it when I say it.
Exactly.
When I declare it.
Exactly.
When I say this is the name of the year.
Exactly.
That's now you in that new year.
Yeah.
For example, this year, he actually said it is the year of the chain breaker. And the year itself didn't know that it was the year of the chain breaker. But there was grace which was waiting to be delivered. There was grace that was waiting to be dispensed. And when the men of God began to decree and to declare that, that means all the grace was now supplied to all the members of the Good News World.
That's right.
And to the followers of our men of God. There was sudden release of that grace. There was a sudden release of that anointing. And that is why it is very important for people to say, what is he saying about the year? What is he calling the name of this year?
It's very important because, as you said, there's grace attached and grace available when the year is pronounced, especially by the prophet of God. We have gone and seen even on television, news media, saying this year, that year. But until the prophet to this last dispensation can really give the year a name, and then the grace available is released. At that moment, you walk into that new year.
That's correct.
And so it's an exciting moment to be with the prophet of God at that particular time.
It's prepared.
And not to be somewhere else or trying to say, well, I will catch it over television or I will catch it over some kind of news organ. No. When the prophet of God is speaking, it means that God's footman, God's oracle is about to announce something that has been declared in the heavens, and he's downloaded it and bringing it to us so that we ourselves become partakers of that divine nature, of that divine grace, that is being made available. So it's important for everyone to understand why we have to encourage you to be where the prophet of God is. Because when the prophet of God is in that environment, there's certain grace that is attached to that environment. So it's important. It's important for your presence. Don't delegate it to someone. Don't say,
delegating your presence.
Well, my family member going there, you will grab the grace. You need to be there yourself because there's something specific.
That's
when it comes to the workings and the operation of the Spirit. When you are there, you will never be, getting out of that place, deny whatever that is in store for that particular
That's
area.
right, that's
so
right.
make sure that you are going there. It's important. Even take the entire family. Be there with the entire family.
Yes,
Don't
yes,
say, well, I'm
yes.
the head of the family,
Yeah.
or I'm the mother.
bring everybody here.
So I'm
Yeah.
here to represent. No representation when it comes
That's
to the
right,
Exodus,
that's
because
right.
it is a time of movement. Imagine the Egyptians, the Israelites, when they were leaving Egypt,
Yeah.
nobody delegated to
No,
say,
no,
you
no,
go
no, no.
ahead.
It says
I
they
will stay
all went
behind.
out.
They all went out.
Yeah.
All. And our man of God always defines all to mean what? All. So make it a point
Yes.
for you and your entire household to be at the iconic Hippodrome.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So the season, esteemed Cardinal,
Yeah.
is starting on the 9th.
Exactly.
On the 9th of December.
Yeah.
In just a few days' time.
Yeah, yeah.
In just a few days' time. It starts with a very big bang.
Yeah.
And that big bang is Rosh Hashanah.
Exactly.
And Rosh Hashanah is a very special time for the Good News World because our man of God tells us of the vision that he had when he was in Israel.
Yeah.
When the Lord appeared to him, came to his hotel room and was telling him about Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah.
That it is this. That's when God decides what happens in the next year.
Exactly.
And he said, I want you to fast for 12 days.
Yes.
With everybody who's going to be under you.
Yeah.
It is the time when God is choosing who's actually making it in 2026.
That's it.
And so that's where you begin to realize the importance of it and why you should participate in it.
Very, very important.
Because if God is going to be deciding my 2026 and he has said it to the prophet that this is when, as you are fasting, that's when I'm actually deciding what is going to be happening.
Yeah.
That means I've got to participate because this concerns me.
Exactly.
This concerns my family.
Exactly.
This concerns everything to do with me.
Yes.
And this concerns you as well.
Yeah.
So if you're watching, Rosh Hashanah is a very important time. And it's simply because that's the time when our man of God gives us some prayer points
Yes.
as we fast and pray.
Yeah.
We fast and pray, not feast and pray.
No.
Feasting has got its own time.
Yes.
But this one, it's dedicated
Yeah.
for the Good News World, around the world,
Yeah.
to fast as being led by our man of God.
Exactly.
And he will be giving us prayer points on a daily basis.
yes,
Today we're praying for this. For 12 days,
Yeah.
we're going to be fasting and praying.
Yeah.
So imagine that God is deciding something, deciding a matter.
Yes.
Deciding, let's say, your history. Why are we saying your history? Because we've learned from our man of God that
Yeah.
God is not in the past.
Yeah.
He's the Alpha and the Omega. He's seen everything.
Exactly.
He's seen the future. He's seen the past. He's seen the present.
surely.
So already your 2026 is the future, but to God is already history.
Yes.
So if God is determining, or if God has actually said you need to be fasting during this season,
Yeah.
in order for that particular time,
Yeah.
for him to decide
Yeah.
what is going to be happening, you need to be engaging.
Exactly.
You need to be engaging with the voice of God.
Exactly.
You need to be engaging with the prophet.
Exactly.
You need to be engaging with what is happening in the Good News World.
Yeah.
There's something which he has taught us, where he said, Absalom, in fact, it was not Absalom, it was Jonathan.
Yeah.
When King Saul decided to actually get the whole of Israel to fast,
Yeah.
because they were going into a battle.
Yeah.
And he actually said the whole of Israel to fast. But David and Jonathan were not there.
Yes.
And while they were out there, the young boy decided to actually take the spear
Yeah.
and stuck the spear into a beehive.
Yeah.
Because he was hungry and he had seen some honey.
Yeah.
And then he just tested and licked the tip of the spear.
Yeah.
And then God said the whole of Israel has actually sinned.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. So when you hear the man of God speaking,
Yeah.
and he's saying it is fasting time, fast together with that's
Obviously.
one of the best opportunity to say, I am Prophet Ibn Angel.
Yeah.
Fasting.
That's it.
I am the Ra and the Neviah and the Good News World. We are joining hands. We are fasting under the direction and under the grace of our men of God. Isn't that so powerful?
Excellent. Very, very powerful, because take it like this. We have like 365
Yes.
days. Let's just put it, or 366 if it's a leap year. But the 365 days, out of that, or out of those days, the prophet is only requesting you the 12 days out of 365.
Yes.
So imagine, do the calculation yourself. So it's important And he said like one day representing like a month for the following year. So imagine that for each month, there's already a dedication that have been made by the prophet where you have become a participant, a partaker of that particular process. It means that you have been sanctified. And so obviously when we enter into the new year, we know each month is being sanctified because we partook of the same grace when the prophet of God announced that we should be fasting. So, and it's important also, it's a time where we capture a lot of revelation from our man of God.
That's right.
I can remember, you know, last year, 2024, when we were going through that process, almost every evening, he came up, you know, and before breaking the fast, there was a lot of, you know, revelation that he really powerful that he gives to us.
Preparing.
So, preparing us for the coming new year. So it's important. Do not miss it. Be a participant. Make sure that you are partaking of everything that the prophet declares, because don't go astray. You know, make sure that you are in line. There has to be a unanimous alignment with every prophetic word that the prophet of God decree and declares, because he said, this is what I have gathered. And so for everyone that is part and parcel of the good news word, the good news nation, be partaker of it. So we are going to have it from the 9th of December to the 20th of December.
That's right.
And so obviously it's going to be a phenomenal time.
That's correct.
Make sure that you are prepared for it.
That's correct. And to top it up, we're going to be having a kids conference on the 20th.
Exactly. That is the kids and the preteens.
And the preteens.
Yes.
Yeah. I know that the past conferences were really loaded.
Very, very loaded.
Very loaded.
And even in fact, most of these kids and preteen conferences, they are attended by the Navia herself. So imagine the attachment she places, you know, on the young ones.
That's correct.
So if you have your children, you know, and those who are preteens and the little ones, this is a time for them to really come also and glean from the prophetic word, you know, that is all being dispensed, you know, throughout the good news word. And imagine having the Navia there with the kids and the preteen. It's a lot to learn. I mean, for those who are listening now, make sure that you are jotting it down on your calendar on the 20th. You know, and in fact, it's the very day that we are breaking the fast. So it's going to be a time of real festivity.
You know, it's really amazing to actually see children. We're not talking about, you know, we can talk about preteens and teens and say, oh, wow, these ones are now dedicated. But to see the Sunday school being hit or under the power of the Holy Spirit, it's a different thing.
Completely different.
And I was watching, actually, there are just this past Sunday, when he was actually laying hands, it was, you know, this past Sunday when he was laying hands on everybody.
Prayer line, prayer line Sunday.
Prayer line Sunday. And there were these young people being, you know, falling under the power of the Holy Spirit.
Exactly.
And that's why you see that even our children are actually open to the Spirit of God. And God is actually literally touching them because they are actually ready and they are open for God's move. You know, so if you are a parent, it is important to make sure that your children are in there for that kids conference.
That's right.
Whether they are actually, you're outside Zimbabwe or you are in Zimbabwe, make sure that your kids attend this. My kids actually have been attending every year.
Wonderful.
Every year the conferences are started, they've been there, and God has actually literally transformed and changed their lives. You can see it. You can see it. You can see their faith. Even when they need something, you can see their faith. But I so much love it because, like what you're saying here, esteemed Cardinal, that the Navia herself is the one ministering in this. And she's the one praying for these young people. And these young people being filled with the Holy Spirit and speaking in other tongues. You see, so our kids are not just going to church just to be playing with toys and you know, and fun games and stories. They're time for that. But when it's conference time, you know that the power of God is going to be released to those little children. As Jesus said, let the young ones come to me. The power of God belongs to such. So it is very important. This, if you are a parent, you've got a kid, you've got children, you are part of Spirit Embassy or you are not part of Spirit Embassy, you want your children to grow up in the things of God, bring them on the 20th, and it's going to be at the Hippodrome. Then comes the 24th. The 24th,
which is going to be, you know, on Christmas Eve.
Yes.
And there we have the Christmas carol service.
Yes, sir.
iconic hippodrome as well. They're going to be powerful. You know, I can see that even that particular service, almost the entire Spirit Embassy,
That's correct.
you know, headed by our highly esteemed prophet of God, Prophet Danger, he himself is there. Because there you experience the worship. It's an atmosphere of worship to God. I feel the spirit of thanksgiving that is also, you know, being kind of circulating in that atmosphere, because we really want to show that level of gratitude and appreciation to God for everything he has done and whatever we are going through throughout the year of the chain breaker, which is the year 2025. But at the same time, worshiping God together. You know, it's so powerful.
Very powerful.
And that is on the 24th of December.
Powerful. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like it what our man of God usually says when it comes to Christmas.
Yes.
He usually says, Jesus is the reason for the seasons.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
In fact, he then told us again and said, Jesus is the reason for all seasons.
Exactly.
So it's not just Christmas season, it's all the seasons. He's the reason for all the seasons. So if Christ is the reason for all the seasons, that means especially on this, like what you're talking about, the Christmas carol, it is very important because we do have like dramas as well.
Yes.
You know, where Christians are showcasing the importance of Christmas.
Yes.
You know, some countries, I do not know if you are aware of this, people no longer like celebrate Christmas.
No.
The way it should.
Especially in the Western world.
Yeah.
You know, they don't even, some of them say Xmas, and some of them say Happy Holiday.
Yeah, did you know though, Cardinal? Did you know, sorry to actually,
No, come in.
I thought I might actually end up forgetting this.
Yes.
In the UK, as we speak, they've actually changed the name of the tree, the Christmas tree. They actually now call it the green tree.
Imagine.
Yeah, it's just called the green tree.
Imagine.
Yeah.
And how many trees out there that are not green? But because they are trying to deny the fact, of the existence of God, because Christmas has Christ in it.
That's correct.
Everything they can do when they start to say Xmas, so it's simply removing Christ.
Yes.
You know, and replacing Christ with X, and then say Mas. Then afterward, Happy Holiday. After that, they are saying green tree instead of the Christmas tree. So the entire idea is to erase, Christ from the scene. And as our men God have already said, Christ is the reason for all seasons. Yes.
Because imagine, you know what you're actually saying? Some have stopped, they say, Merry Xmas. There was one which was funny, and it was one of the neighbors who sent us a card. And the card was saying Merry Crimbo. And like, Crimbo, what is Crimbo? Why would you even go that direction?
Exactly.
It's like you no longer even know why we have this.
Exactly.
So it's, and some countries in Africa really, things like the Christmas carols are not anything which is well known. People do not know anything about Christmas carols.
That's right.
So all they do is just to go out there, have parties. But to actually know that there are some songs we can sing which are only talking about Jesus Christ.
That's right.
I think growing up in Zimbabwe, one of the songs which we always waited to hear as kids was Mary's born child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. And that was the only song.
That's right.
But Spirit Embassy has actually brought in the Christmas carols.
Yes.
You know, so if you are in Zimbabwe, you've never heard what Christmas carols are, you have to be at the Hippodrome
on the 24th of December 2025. Then comes the 28th.
The 28th.
Yeah, 28th of December going to be a day where I encourage each and everyone throughout the Good News world, throughout the Good News nation, wherever you are, on the 28th of December.
That's right.
2025. Don't miss it, because it's going to be the Good News World exhibition. It's going to be spectacular. And it's going to be something that you cannot afford to miss, because there you will see the display of every department and a lot of things that are happening throughout the Good News world.
That's right.
And you will see on exhibition, almost every department, have their booth. And they are showcasing what they are doing and what they have been doing throughout the entire year. I know you also from YT.
From YT, yes.
But we at Iwama, the prophetic booth will also be there. So these, and I cannot wait, really, the excitement that it draws. As you understand, the Good News world is moving to a place where we want to make sure that we are self-sufficient in everything.
Yes,
In other
yes,
words,
yes.
even there are so many things, even agricultural products. You see people bringing in what they are doing and what they are doing constantly. So it will be a lot of activities where
yes.
you will be able also to network.
That's right,
And be
that's
able
right.
to get in contact
That's right,
with,
that's
with
right.
people
That's
so
right.
that your life and destiny is being placed at another level. And on that 28th,
Yes.
there's going to be a time also where we will have, God's born servant.
Yes.
Yes, the Ra himself.
Yes,
He will
yes.
be there touring the booths
Yes,
and
yes.
getting, kind of commentary
Yes.
from everyone, from every booth that is present, their presentation. And
yes.
he will be able to embrace and see how things are going.
Yes.
So it's going to be a phenomenal time that
That's
I believe
right.
and I encourage each and every one to make sure that you are there.
That's right. Thank
Yeah.
you so very much. Maybe if I can add on that as well.
Yes, please.
Because we've seen the exhibitions.
Yeah.
And we've seen the impact of the exhibitions.
Yeah.
And it's actually a very special time because that's when all the partners of the Good News World
Yeah.
gets to be shown, even the members
Yeah.
of the Good News World, the Good News Nation,
Yeah.
gets to be shown what their department is actually doing around the world.
Exactly.
And in other words, if you are not part of or you're not supporting any department, that's when you get to realize that, why am I not part of this? Because I can see what is happening in the Good News World.
Exactly.
I can see the impact which is happening in the Good News World.
Yeah.
If it is the Good News Daily or the Uperangio Foundation,
Yeah.
If it is the networks.
Yeah.
And right now we are actually watching because of the networks.
Yeah.
And why not partner with such
Exactly.
such a department?
Healing Institute.
Healing Institute.
Good News Daily.
Good News Daily. And
partnership booth.
Exactly.
So
There is
many.
a lot.
Women department.
Yes.
So many.
yeah.
They are there.
So it's important for you to come and see.
Rebels for Christ, the
Exactly.
youth department,
Yes. The children, teens and preteens. We've got Blossom.
Yes.
We've got women's department. We've got Men World.
Yes.
There is a lot.
A lot.
So you can literally walk,
It's a whole day, entire
whole
day,
day.
event.
Yes.
From the morning, I think, to the evening time.
Yes.
It's an entire day event.
Yes.
So it's going to be a time where I encourage you.
Yes.
Do not miss it. If you want to know more about Spirit Embassy, the Good News World, the Good News Nation, I believe the exhibition date is a date where you get a lot of information when it comes to what the Good News World stands for.
Yes.
What we do, as a Good News World, Good News Nation, citizen, what we do, because you see them on display.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
so you can see for yourself. So make sure that you are marked that also on your calendar, the 28th of December.
Yes.
It's going to be important for you to be also at the iconic Hippodrome in Harare, Zimbabwe.
That's right. Thank you so very much for
Yeah.
that, esteemed.
Yeah.
And then on the 29th.
Yes, the 29th going to be a special because that's going to be the Good News
The
World.
biggest.
Yeah, the biggest.
Yeah.
The biggie.
Yes.
Yes, because we're going to have the Good News World Annual Music Partners Award.
And that's when we recognize all our talent
Yeah.
and our partners around the world.
Yes.
Those who have been holding the hands of our men of God.
Exactly.
Those who have been standing with our men of God. Those who are standing and supporting the vision.
Exactly.
Those who are helping push the vision to the next level.
Yes.
As well as our musicians, our artists.
Yes.
Just celebrating everybody
Exactly.
for what they've done in this year of the chain breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a night set ablaze,
yes.
It's going to be an amazing night for each and every one that is there, because you see, and of course, we will have the Ra himself.
Yes,
He
yes,
will
yes.
be there. The Navia
yes.
will be there.
Yes, yes.
Everyone that is part and parcel of the Good News World, the Good News Nation, they cannot afford to miss that night, because when you talk about the Annual Music Award, you're talking about all the Good News artists, what they are produced. And of course, they are also awarded, they are prized to be won,
That's
trophies
correct.
to be taken.
Yes.
Then, of course, the partners as well.
That's right.
The awards just going to kind of go through seamlessly throughout, from the music as well as the partners.
As the partners, yes.
As you rightly
Just
put it,
appreciating everyone.
rightly put it, those who are holding the hands of our men of God, the Alexander Prophet Hubert Danger, who are partnering and seeing the gospel
Yes.
then preached to the four corners because of their partnership.
That's right.
They're
That's
going to
right.
be recognized. They're
That's
going to
right.
be awarded. And it's a special night of appreciation for those who are really like the engine.
Yes, yes.
Making sure that the Good News Nation, the Good News World, is spreading.
That's right.
Out there.
That's right.
So you cannot afford to miss
That's right.
the night of the 29th
That's right.
of December
That's right.
2025.
That's right.
We're going
That's
to
right.
be a night to remember.
That's right. That's
and be
right.
in the action. Be there.
Yep.
You know.
And it's also important.
Yeah.
The year is not over yet.
No, not yet.
So you can still be in the top 10.
Yeah.
You can still be in the top 5. You
Yeah.
can still be in the top 3.
Yeah.
And you can still be number 1.
Exactly.
The year is not done yet.
No,
You
no.
can be in the top 20, top 30, or top 50, or top 100.
Yes.
It is important that our partnership, we are continuing with it
Yeah.
up till the end of this year.
Exactly.
And even on the last day, on the 29th,
Yeah.
you can still say,
you can
I still have got some more
partner
package
at
here.
another level and
yeah,
still
just
be
to top
and
up.
make it. Yes.
Yeah, just to
Yes,
top up.
yes.
So it is very important. But on the 30th,
Yeah.
we've got the time of just setting up and getting
Yeah.
things ready
Yeah.
for the biggest night there is.
On the 31st.
On the 31st.
Yeah.
The biggest night. This is the one which is the biggie.
The biggie.
The big and the biggest.
Yes.
Yeah, if we were to compare all the other nights, Exodus night, we'll put it this way.
Yeah.
It is the night that makes all the other nights.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that is why it's important that people are coming from all over the world to hear. This is the night when the man of God says, I'm no longer saying the 2026, the year of, and then it just stops. No, this particular night,
Yeah.
that's when he actually releases the unction
Exactly.
and redirects and realign and point and guide and lead
Yeah.
and teach and impact 2026. So it is very important. That's when the man of God is releasing the anointing and the grace
Yeah.
sufficient for us
Yes.
for 2026.
Seriously.
And that is our Exodus night.
Exodus night.
How can you get into 2026 without the word from the prophet or without a prophet? I do not even know how
It's
people do it.
impossible.
How do
It's
you do it?
impossible because Exodus night, as you are putting it clearly, the 31st of December, that night where we see the prophet of God really differentiating the old from the new.
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
know, where he marshal and usher in from the old to the new.
That's correct.
Where we see actually the prophetic, overriding protocols, where destinies are exchanged,
Yes, yes.
where decisions are made concerning your next 12 months of life.
yes.
So it's important that you be there. I cannot really see any other day of the year be equivalent to the 31st
That's
of
correct,
December.
yes.
Because the Exodus night is a night of movement.
That's
it's
correct.
a night where really you are forgetting the past and making history.
Yes,
and
yes.
that is simply being led by no other than the prophet himself. The night of the 31st of December, when declarations are made,
That's right.
when utterances are made from the corridors of heaven,
That's correct.
proclaim to this last dispensation
Yes.
by the prophet who have been designated, who have been ordained, who is speaking as an oracle of God.
Yes, yes.
It need for you to be there because words carry power.
Yes,
and we
yes,
know
yes.
what our men of God have taught us when it comes to the genetics of word,
Yes.
when it comes to the power embedded
Yes, yes.
in words. So when you are in that environment of the 31st,
Yes.
something is bound to shift in your destiny
That's
as
right.
you move into the following year. So I cannot even afford to miss it. And I believe someone listening to us now, if you have been contemplating and say, should I go or should I not go? I believe this is the particular time of decision. And the decision has to be made where you go and be under the feet of the prophet.
That's correct.
Because the words that will be spoken over your life, they will really make a meaning for the next 12 months of the following year you are washing or marching into. So don't really delay.
That's right.
Don't
That's
delay.
right. That's
because
right.
as you said, that is the night that really crimes it. It's the epitome
That's right.
of the 2025 that you are living.
That's right.
So
That's right.
something spectacular
That's right.
about that night, something special.
Very,
And
very
there are
powerful.
spiritual, elements.
Transfer.
Transfer that will be injected,
Yeah.
from the prophet.
Yeah.
So I cannot afford
That's
to
right.
miss that night with the Alison Prophet Hubert Inja.
That's
and I
right.
encourage you, be part of it as well.
Esteemed Colonel,
Yeah.
it's very easy for people to actually just think of Exodus night as in, I just go there and it's like a place to spend the night. Do you know? let me put it this way.
That's right.
Exodus last night, Exodus 9 last year.
Yeah.
I saw a lot. I saw strange things because I had the privilege of being the chairman for last year.
Yeah.
And so I was like mostly doing most of the rounds, just checking around and all that. And on the night, just checking what needed to be done.
Yeah.
And in some places, we had to actually prepare some more overflows.
Imagine.
Because the overflows we had prepared were not enough.
Exactly.
So we had to create more overflows in the night. But the strange part is that I saw drunk people. Drunkards coming for Exodus night. That on its own should tell you something.
Very strange. Very strange.
It should tell you something. If a drunkard thought, I know this is 2024.
That's right.
But for me to make it 2025, let me be with the prophet of God.
Exactly.
You know, it's not enough to actually just say, I'm just going to cross over. At least these drunkards actually crossed over in the house, under the voice, you know, than to actually cross it somewhere else.
Exactly.
Because look at it, the children of Israel also crossed over in the night. And yet it was not enough until Moses said, you see these Egyptians you are saying, you will not see them again.
Exactly.
You see?
That's right.
So you might think that you've crossed over until the prophet says, like what you were saying here, esteemed.
Yeah.
Until the man of God says, the old is past.
Yes.
Now there's a new coming.
Exactly.
And this is the way we are actually going.
Exactly.
It becomes like another night.
Exactly.
So it is therefore important for people to be in location. That is why we're talking about this. I saw drunk people, drunkard.
Yeah.
Like
in that environment.
Looking for a chair. I want to sit down and be in the environment of this man of God.
Sober. That moment.
At that very moment, they become sober because they want to hear what God has got to say.
Yeah.
If a drunkard can think like that, somebody who's drunk can think like that, what about you who is a Spirit Embassy member or a Good News World, or you're watching right here, you're already a Christian, you've just been following Prophet, and you're saying you're just only watching online, you can still buy the ticket and be at the Hippodrome.
Yes, of the Prophet.
It's very important.
It's very, very important. That is actually the thing, the creme de la creme. It counts it out the entire year.
That's right.
And then after we are marched into the new year, on the very fresh day of the year off. You know, as we march, as we march from the year of the chain breaker, the very fresh day, still we have it with the Ra himself, and that is the ambassador's service.
Yes.
And there, I mean, I can remember that ambassador service. And then one of the time the prophet, I think about 3 or 4 years ago, when he was still in the UK, in London, I can remember we had the Exodus night. And from there, it continued throughout the I think it was the first time that, in fact, the initiation of the ambassador service. And we had it throughout the entire day until the a.m., the following night. I mean, it was something to behold. And so I can imagine having it at the iconic Hippodrome. What going to be the very first time having the service with the prophet of God in the new year? I believe there's a new season that have been released. And so you need to be there. These dates we are calling on the 1st of January, 2026, the year of, wherein the prophet of God is declaring things, make, as you said, impacting, you know, spiritual gifts and spiritual, you know, substances, you know, into that environment. You have to be there. There's no way that you can avoid being there. So, my esteemed Cardinal, it's going to be powerful.
It's going to be powerful. And one of the most important reasons, I mean, if I were to look at it this way, you're talking about the first one, the first night here in London.
Yes.
Do you know something extraordinary happened that night? Because that night, he was actually prophesying.
Yes.
And gets this woman, I think she was from India. And says, you know, I'm actually looking at this picture, but as I'm looking at this picture, you're just looking at the coffin. And I wish I can tell you different news or different information. But let me ask from God, you know, if this can be changed. The man of God, you could see the conflict in him. It was during the ambassador service. So why it's important for people who are actually coming from other countries, don't just say, oh, it's the first Exodus night is finished. Let me go. No, don't pay like that. Don't just leave. Just wait for the ambassador service. Because apart from you having attended Exodus night, you are already an ambassador.
Exactly.
You have come to hear from the men of God who is also an ambassador.
Exactly.
So now you are actually coming to become an ambassador of the good news nation, of the good news world, where you are going,
That's
the
right.
country you are coming from.
Yes.
And the man of God usually has specific word for the people who actually stay for ambassador service.
That's right.
Because there you are being dispensed around the world.
Yeah.
You are being sent around the world. You are being distributed around the world of God, the word, with the word from the man of God.
Yes.
And that word is for you to carry to the nations you come from, or to the branches you are coming from, or to the regions of the world you are coming from. And the man of God gives that word without reservation.
No.
And with impartations as well. And it is therefore important for people to actually make sure that they are there.
Yeah.
So imagine on that night, this very first ambassador's night,
Yes.
then he comes back and says, look, I wish I can actually tell you something different, but
Yeah.
God has just shown me that this one is not making it.
Yeah, and just to interject that, because I was also there, and he said, listen, this is meant just to prepare you and the entire family, so that it won't be a shock as such, that you are able to kind of, take it in. That night was very solemn. Even we saw the prophet himself, the Palestinian prophet, was so much moved, so much touched. And all that is through the ambassador service that was being held. So it's important,
it is
for
very
the
important.
presence of someone to be there. It's not only that, because there were other prophetic declarations, that were made, and prophetic word that came that really opened the doors of prosperity, that opened the doors of abundance, the door of increase for families and people. Life were transformed through that ambassador service.
That's correct.
So it's going to be powerful as well.
Yes. And then on the 2nd, we've got our last event of the Exodus season.
That's right.
And that's the synod.
The synod.
What happens?
The synod is the meetings of the leaders of Spirit Embassy around the world. And therein, we receive, I can say, new directives, new mandates from the highly esteemed Prophet Hubert Angel. Our leader, our commander-in-chief, giving us the marching orders for the year 2026, the year of. So it is important for every leader of Spirit Embassy to attend, beginning with, we know the president herself will be there, the CEO will be there, the cardinals will be there, the chaplains and the senior ministers, the associate ministers, directors, the entire officialdom of Spirit Embassy going to be present. So the signal is very, very important for everyone to take it into account. If you're a leader of Spirit Embassy, that is the time you have to say, I will do everything possible. Because they also will receive the impartation from our men of God. We receive a lot of things. So it's not only the physical mandate, but also the spiritual substances that are being impacted so that you have the grace to function. You see, so it's important.
Thank you so very much for that. And so it's going to be very powerful. So the leaders are all gathering on the 2nd. And the men of God literally giving brand new marching orders. Of 2026. And being distributed, the leaders being distributed around the world. And making an impact for Jesus under this strange commission. Under this great grace, the grace that knows no race. Because Spirit Embassy is impacting the world all over, all round. We are everywhere. From north to south, east to west, we're everywhere. That's why we are the good news world. That's why we're the good news nation. And the Spirit of God is dwelling inside us. And that is why we are Spirit Embassy. Under this strange grace, we have seen miracles taking place. And this whole year, we've seen so many miracles, signs and wonders, prophecies, healings, and prophetic utterances that have altered nations, countries, continents, which have actually reshaped the world itself. We're speaking about prophecies which have taken place in England, in Europe, in America, in the whole of Africa. Our men of God stayed focused the whole year. As the mandate he was given, that prophet to nations.
And prophet to nations. And as you said, in 2025, the year of the chain breaker, we have witnessed. When it comes to the global prophetic mandate that our men of God, the highly esteemed Prophet Hubert Angel has, we have seen in this year that we see leaders rise
Yes.
and leaders fall.
Yes,
Simply
yes.
because of the
Of his
prophetic
yes,
utterances
yes,
that have been going forth. There's no way that you can argue because the results are there.
There are
When
results.
the prophetic words have been declared, we
Yes.
see them happen
Yes.
live.
Yes,
We are eyewitnesses and the testimonies.
Yes.
So we have seen it
Yes.
around the globe.
Yes.
And so we want to really say, for me, I really say, as we are enter this Exodus season, all I can say, just kind of to conclude and summarize, is to
Say
thank
you,
my
Prophet.
man of God,
Yes.
the Alistair Prophet Hubert Angel, who continued to say,
Yes.
I have the prophetic mandate, I have the mantle
Yes.
of the prophetic. Yes, indeed, the biggest stakeholder,
Yes,
when
yes.
it comes to the prophetic around the world. And he has never, ever, really disappointed.
Yes,
Because
yes.
every word spoken, we
Yes.
see it come to pass. That is
Yes.
a clear, glaring indication that he hears directly from God. And therefore, I want to say thank you so much, sir, for really upholding, that office to the highest extent, wherein the prophetic again once more being respected around the world. Because when you think of the highest esteemed Prophet Hubert Angel, you think about the prophetic that
Yes.
comes to pass.
Yes,
and
yes,
so it
yes.
brings integrity
Yes.
to the office of the prophetic
That's
when
correct.
it comes to the fivefold ministry. So thank you so much, sir. And I
That's
also
right.
want to take this time to thank once again the Navia, our president of the Good News World, the prophetess, Madam Bibi Angel. Thank you so much for continuously really giving all to the Good News World to see us going and then exploiting and controlling and making sure that we make impact for Jesus. So much. We are so much internally grateful to you and also to our dear man of God, the Alistair Prophet Hubert Angel. Thank you both. And of course, this Exodus season. Yeah, what do you have to say?
Thank you.
Esteemed Cardinal.
Thank you so very much,
Yes.
esteemed Cardinal. And look, the Exodus season is all about Exodus season. And it is already here.
Yeah.
It has already come.
Yeah.
And it is very, very important for us to actually get ready to run with the vision.
Yeah.
As led by our man of God. Thank you so much, Prophet. Thank you for staying true to the word, focused, laser beam focus. Thank you so much for the impact and for your continual words and your continual teaching, your continual mentorship, your continual strength and vigor and rigorous standing in the vision and direction and focus and leading and telling us the things to be as God has been saying them to you. Thank you so very much for the impact which you have made in the Good News world. You are making in the Good News world, in the Good News Nation, in Spirit Embassy, because we know we are learning from you and we are seeing it. And everything which you have done around the world, even the presidents, kings, they've run to you. According to what God said, a prophet to nations. And nations have gathered to hear from your lips, to hear wisdom from your lips, and to hear what only your God can do. So thank you so very much, sir. I love you so very much, and continue leading and directing and teaching us the way you have been. And we're looking forward to the year of only you say no. We love you so very much. And thank you so much to our Nevia and for leading and for directing and for steering the Good News world. The vehicle is moving very, very fast. And thank you so very much for your impact in our lives as leaders and as the Good News world. We love you so very much, Mom, and appreciate you so very much. And the Good News world partners, Good News world members, we love you so very much. God continually bless you under this strange commission.
Indeed, we love you so much.
We love you
Even
so
the
very
viewers
much.
out there. Not
Yes.
only you viewing us, but we want to see you in Harare, Exodus season, especially the Exodus night.
That's right.
And we will be able to just chat with one another. But we are so much grateful that
Very
you are
grateful.
there at the other side of the screen, viewing and listening, and make sure that you are spreading the news, because it's important.
Yes.
As we can recap, from the
Yes.
9th to the 20th,
That's right.
we will be having the Rosh Hashanah, which is a period of fasting and a period of prayer ordained by our man of God, the
Yes.
esteemed Prophet Hubert Angel. Again, from the 9th of December to the 20th of December,
That's right.
Rosh Hashanah.
Make sure you fast.
And then make sure you are fasting. Whether you are alone, single or with the family, make sure that you are doing it. Then comes on the 20th of December, we have the Global Kids and Preteens Conference.
That's right.
That is on the 20th of December.
That's right.
Then comes the 24th. What do we have on the 24th?
On the 24th, we've got Christmas Carol Service.
Yes.
And then on the 28th, we've got Good News World Exhibitions. And then Good News World Annual Music and Partnership Awards on the 29th.
That's right.
And on the 31st, the biggie, the biggest, the best.
Yes.
Exodus Night.
Yeah.
And then on the 1st is going to be Ambassador Service with the Ra. And then on the 2nd is going to be what is called the synod, which is Spirit Embassy Leadership.
So do whatever you can do, but make sure you are not missing the 31st.
That's right.
Again, the 31st of December, which is the Exodus Night, with the earliest 10 Prophet Hubert Danger. Make sure that you are there at the iconic Hippodrome in Harare, Zimbabwe.
And as usual, Tim Cardinal, we are not out of good news.
No.
We never run out of good news.
No. We are the good news world.
We are the good news world.
We're
just out of time. We'll see you again.
See you.
Good news to you.
Good news to you.
In a world racing toward the unknown, one night will change everything. Feel the ground tremble beneath the weight of destiny. Hear the echoes of a future unveiled.
Everyone appointed death and appointed to die. You will disappoint the enemy, you will disappoint death in the name of Jesus.
On December 31st, as the final seconds of 2025 fade, a new era begins. At the voice of the Ra, the world will pause, and 2026 will be announced. Be there. Witness history. Feel the pulse of a new beginning.
I begin to see the wind blowing.
December 31st, join us for the Exodus Night with the Ra, Hubert Angel. An unforgettable night of revelation, celebration, and destiny.
The year of the...
This is no ordinary night. This is the night. Will you answer the call? At the iconic Harare Hippodrome, Harare, Zimbabwe. Don't wait. The clock is ticking.